Look at your last grocery receipt. Look at the numbers at the gas pump. You're bleeding money, and you're supposed to blame local politicians or corporate greed. But the real reason your wallet is empty right now is hiding 7,000 miles away. If you're like most people right now, in May 2026, you have a tight knot in your stomach. Inflation is back. Heating bills are terrifying. The cost of simply existing feels like it's slipping out of reach. You probably blame your politicians. You might blame the corporations, and sure, they play a part. But if you really want to understand why everything feels so expensive right now, you have to look far beyond your city. You have to look at a tiny stretch of water on the other side of the world, a place so critical that if it were shut down for even a few weeks, the entire global economy could start to panic. It's called the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow passage between Iran and the Arabian Peninsula. At its tightest point, it's only 21 miles wide, and yet nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through it every single day. Which means one military confrontation, one blockade, one miscalculation could send shockwaves across the planet almost overnight. And at the center of that danger is a bitter rivalry that has been building for more than 70 years, the United States and Iran. Today, we are going to strip away the political jargon. We are going to uncover the actual history. Because this isn't just a story about drones, missiles, and supreme leaders. This is a story about you. And at the end of this video, I'm going to reveal the terrifying new phase of this conflict. A phase that isn't targeting military bases, but targeting your hometown. But first, we have to go back to understand why the Middle East exploded in February 2026. You cannot look at today's headlines. You have to look at the ghosts. For the average American, the story starts in 1979. Angry mobs, burning flags. But for the average Iranian, the story starts in 1953. Iran had a democratically elected prime minister. His name was Mohammad Mossadegh. He wanted to nationalize Iran's oil. He wanted the profits to help Iranians, not British corporations. The West didn't like that. So, the CIA stepped in. They orchestrated a coup. They overthrew the prime minister, and they installed a monarch, the Shah. He ruled with an iron fist, but he kept the oil flowing. This was the original sin. Decades of resentment boiled over. In 1979, the Iranian Revolution ousted the Shah. Radical students stormed the U.S. Embassy. They held 52 Americans hostage for 444 days. The trust was broken, permanently. The 1980s brought unimaginable bloodshed. Iran went to war with Iraq. The U.S. quietly backed the Iraqi dictator, Saddam Hussein. Then, in 1988, a U.S. Navy cruiser accidentally shot down an Iranian passenger jet. 290 civilians, dead. To Iranians, it was proof America wanted to destroy them. To Americans, Iran had become the ultimate state sponsor of terror. Fast forward to the 21st century. The new battleground? Nuclear power. The U.S. believed Iran was building a bomb. Iran claimed it was peaceful energy. In 2015, we had a spark of hope. The Iran nuclear deal. Strict limits on nuclear programs in exchange for economic relief. The Iranian middle class finally took a breath, but in 2018, the U.S. walked away. Crushing sanctions returned. The Iranian economy nosedived, and the region became a powder keg, waiting for a match. That match was struck in February 2026. The U.S. and Israel launched intense, coordinated military strikes against Iran. Why? What was the real motive? It was a clash of pure survival. The U.S. and Israel believed Iran was inches away from a nuclear weapon. They believed Iran's proxy fighters were tearing the global order apart. Their motive was containment. But Iran's motive? Sovereignty. Crippled by 70% food inflation, facing massive internal protests. The regime felt cornered. To bow down meant death. So they didn't just fire missiles back. They used their geography. They closed the Strait of Hormuz. When two giants collide, the grass gets trampled. Let's look at the devastation inside these countries. In Iran, the rial is worthless. A teacher in Tehran spends her entire month's salary just to buy meat and rice. The middle class hasn't just been squeezed, it has been obliterated. In America, the intervention has cost tens of billions, adding to a mountain of national debt. The country is violently divided. Is it a defense of freedom or a disastrous imperial overreach? But here's the truth they leave out of the evening news. The war didn't stay in the Middle East. It came for you. Remember the Strait of Hormuz? 20% of the world's oil passes through that narrow choke point. When Iran blocked it, the global energy market had a heart attack. Over 1 billion barrels of oil gone. Prices exploded, shipping stalled. The planes flying your Amazon packages, they run on jet fuel. The trucks delivering your food, they run on diesel. We are living through a synchronized, global, economic shock. Let's talk about David. David lives in Calgary. He doesn't care about uranium enrichment. He cares that his mortgage is up for renewal. Because of the war, inflation skyrocketed. Central banks panicked. They kept interest rates punishingly high. David's mortgage just jumped by $600 a month. His commute costs 30% more. His groceries are through the roof because cargo ships have to take the long way around Africa. The global middle class is trapped in a vice. You work hard, you save, but you are slipping backward. You are the collateral damage. But here is where the story takes a dark turn. It is May 2026. A fragile, Pakistani brokered truce is barely holding. The conventional strikes have mostly stopped. You might think the worst is over. You might think prices will stabilize. You are wrong, because the war didn't end. It just went invisible. This is the twist that military analysts are whispering about behind closed doors. We have entered the era of the perpetual shadow war. Conventional wars are too expensive. So, the battleground has shifted. They aren't targeting military bases anymore. They are targeting infrastructure. Last week, did your local bank's app mysteriously go down? Did a water treatment plant in Texas experience an unexplained glitch? Did a hospital in London suddenly lose access to its patient records? We are no longer fighting over oil. We are fighting a relentless, invisible cyber war. Iran, backed into a corner, has solidified an unbreakable alliance with Russia and China. This is Cold War 2.0. The target isn't a soldier in a desert. The target is the grid that keeps your lights on. The target is the system that holds your bank account balance. The target is the supply chain that keeps your supermarket shelves stocked. The explosions in the Persian Gulf have stopped, but the war is already inside your house. The tragedy of 2026 is a tragedy of pride. Egos in suits and uniforms are dictating whether you get to survive. Understanding this won't magically lower your gas bill, but you need to know the truth. You aren't failing. You are under attack. Stay informed. Protect your digital life, and look out for your neighbors, because the shadow war has only just begun. This was The Corporate Narrator, bringing you the most gripping true stories out there. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching. If you love deep dives, dark twists, and stories that stay with you long after they end, make sure you like and subscribe. Help us grow our channel, because every new subscriber fuels the next unforgettable story. And trust me, the next one starts now.